What's up, everyone? And now for my next adventure. So, half joking, half serious. I'm running for president. My platform is that I'd never show up a day in office, and basically have 4 years of just time off. If lobbyists can create 1,000-page laws that our politicians pass and don't even read, I don't think we the people own the system anymore. So I'm just trying to create peace in this world. I figured if I didn't show up a day in Washington that we couldn't have any more wars, and there'd be a lot of things positive for that. So I recently have realized that I'm just going to hand it off to Eli. I was running. He was my vice presidential running mate. In case anything happened to me, I was just going to give it to him. But I think that he can now do the job. So I'm half serious, half joking. But I'm nominating my dog as president. This is Eli. He's the good boy, and I think he has presidential qualities written all over him. Look at him. That is just a good dog if you've ever seen one. So, here's the platform for old Eli here. I was originally going to donate my entire salary to creating a free energy device and giving power to the people, literally. So I'm going to have to do that on Eli's behalf. So if he was to win, his salary would get donated to trying to create a free energy device. It would be a competition, and whoever creates the most efficient over unity device wins the presidential salary. But yeah, so as my dog is president, if he gets elected, there'd be a lot of positives for it. Stick with me on this one. Libertarians are really going to appreciate this state of mind. I've actually created a form of government I call localism, where we the people stand up locally and decide our own way of life. Personally, I feel the federal government's lost, and that there's nothing we can do to get it back without serious major events happening. But this is something peaceful we can do right here in the local community. We can stand up and just say, you know what, we're going to pass a home rule charter and dictate our own laws locally. And the federal government, you guys can go do your own thing. Personally, I feel that taxation's theft, and that when the IRS takes our money, that's theft, and we work 30% of our lives for things we don't agree with, and for people that are committing crimes. And I personally will not pay and be an accessory to these crimes anymore. I am running for sheriff locally to try and help locally, because I think that really does matter. As far as presidentially, I might make a little bit of a joke of it, but this is kind of a serious idea if you think about it. But so if Eli was president here, he wouldn't be able to pass a budget. He'd never be able to sign a budget, which in turn the government wouldn't be able to rob our children for future generations for as much money as they want to, and have an open checkbook to do whatever they want, and to rob our children and us massively on any scale they want. So if we didn't pass a budget, the government would have to come to us and ask us to voluntarily give them the money that they need. So then it would be a voluntary system, and that's the way freedom is really supposed to look like. So from that, we would voluntarily give. We could have a multiple choice on what we want to give our taxes to. We could decide to give nothing, or we could decide to give more, or take from something that we don't like and put it towards something that we do. And Democrats could fund Democrat stuff, Republicans could fund Republican stuff, and at the end of it all, we'd have freedom. And anyways, from there, we voluntarily give the government entities that we want money, and they take and they get a budget at that point. And instead of an endless budget that they get whatever they want, they get the budget that we voluntarily give them, and then they work from that. And so then it's a voluntary system, like I said, and they have to work from the budgets and figure it out what we give them. From there, we could talk about bombs. He could never pass a declaration of war. We'd have peace, because he couldn't sign it for any nuclear weapons, and he couldn't do anything crazy. And so we would have peace in the world, because he can't just say any nuclear codes or drop any bombs and do anything like that. He also wouldn't be able to pass any laws, because we got those same politicians that are creating 1,000-page laws that they don't even read, and then they just sign them and let them go into effect, and that's just a constant loss of our freedoms. So this poor puppy here wouldn't be able to sign any laws into effect, so we would have our freedoms insured for at least 4 years. And I think that's a good idea. So we'd end wars, we'd ensure freedom as far as taxes go, and we would ensure freedom because no more laws would be made for at least a couple years. So that's the good thing. And to some people, you know, that might sound crazy. And you're like, well, I like my politicians and I always want my guy to win. And that's the thing, that when most people, they want their guy to win, and then they give their guy all the power, and then eventually one day their guy doesn't win, and they've realized they've given all the government all the power, and now somebody that they don't like is in there. And so fundamentally we have to take away limit the power of the government as much as we can. We got to take away all the power of the government as much as possible, because that just leaves the door open for corruption. And so me and Eli will take a walk here. Come on, Eli. So yeah, let's pretend like he's a normal politician, just like normal politicians and everywhere. And he's just a good boy walking along. Oh, him's a good politician. Look at him. Look at him. Aren't you a good politician, Eli? Eli, can you be president, buddy? Come here, tell me about it. Come here. Hey, are you gonna be a good boy? Are you a good boy? Yes, you're a good president. And that's just like presidents do, you know? They're out there doing their thing. But anytime, you got to think that they could be corrupted by money or power. And so even somebody that we may think is the best guy, best good boy in the whole world, once he sees that money and that power, he turns into a different monster. Hey, Eli, what's this? What's this? Eli, what's this? Oh, you see them ears perk up? And suddenly those politicians, all they can do is focus on one thing. Doesn't matter what they do, where they go, what's going on. All they want is that one thing. Because that money, and somebody will hold that money out there and that power. And you'll try and you'll leave it and you'll say, hey, good boy, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Up a little bit. Stay. Stay, don't touch the money. We're going to put it right there in front of you. Don't touch it. But eventually, one day, they'll get it. Eventually. You never know. They can't resist it anymore. And if I left that ball on his face right there, I promise you, eventually one day he'd get it. Look at that big heart. He wears his heart on his sleeve, right on his shoulder, just like me. Hey, yeah, let me see it. Drop it. Drop that money and power. Drop it, politician. You're a bad politician. Let go. No, you went for the money and the power. What are you doing? You don't want this. You'll stay, right? You won't chase the money and the power like all politicians. Oh wait, there he goes. Yeah, he will. Oh man, now he's turning into every other politician. That's terrible. So we got to plan ahead for this. Pretend the ball is the money and the power, and that one day eventually somebody could always be corrupt. And so you got to go from that state of mind when dealing with government and politics, is trying to deal and figure out with a way they won't just only care about the money and the power, because eventually they can become corrupt. And so we always got to focus on trying to do what's right and trying to give the power to the people and ensure freedom. And so that's where I'm at, is I'm trying to ensure freedom to the people. And I feel that we've lost a lot of it. And I know this is a crazy concept, but I'm electing my dog as president, Eli Butterfield. If you want to write him in, I think that's a big way to tell the man how we feel about the situation, tell the federal government how we feel about what they're doing. I'm going to go ahead and post a couple videos and throw out a couple ideas, just a couple more videos of my dog doing his thing and showing you how awesome he is and how he deserves to be president. It's a solid. But I'm going to post some videos of this good boy and some pictures, and I might do a little voiceover. I might just use this right here. But I appreciate everybody keeping up. Like I said, I'm just doing this in the hopes of freedom and peace. I'm just trying to create a little peace in this world. And I think that freedom is going to be the fundamental way we do that. And if everybody was free to do their own thing and be left alone, I think we'd create a lot of peace in this world. All the conflict comes from everybody being forced to live by everybody else's ways, and that's what we don't like, and that's where the drama and the trouble all comes from. So if we could just coexist without being forced to live like somebody else's ways, I think that that's going to be the problem, or the solution to the problem that we're facing. So I appreciate everybody keeping up. Thanks you guys for watching this. I'm going to be releasing a video a week for a year. I got 52 comedy stories from my life that I have worked up, and I have another 52 inventions that I'm giving away for free that I've invented. Like I said, I'm going to release one of those once a week of each, and I also have philosophy interviews I do with everybody. And I think that if we could just learn to accept other people's opinions, or maybe even sit down from the people across from us and our enemy or the opposite side of what we believe or think, and just work for solutions, we can create peace in this world. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that too. And I'm also going to be keeping a journey, and I want to do a documentary of me running for sheriff, and I guess Eli running for president, and all the other good stuff that's going to be going on. So just stay posted. You can like, subscribe. I appreciate all the subscriptions I can get. The more I get, the more YouTube seems to give me freedoms to do stuff. So that's a cool thing. But I appreciate you all, and yeah, you guys have a great day. Thanks, guys.